Hi, it's Charlene. Today's math is the order of operations, also known as PEMDAS. If you can remember it that way, good for you because I cannot. So I've decided to share with you this little example of how to try and remember the order of operations. Okay, so on this first page I have an example. Now if we were just to complete this example, we might end up with the wrong answer. Okay, so what we're going to want to learn is our order of operations. Now that means things like add, subtract, multiply, divide, and figuring square roots. So again, if we just calculate left to right, we might end up with an incorrect answer. So long ago, folks decided to create a set of rules when doing calculations, and we're going to learn those now. Okay. So we have parentheses first. So anything that's in parentheses we'll calculate first. So now we have the example of 2 times parentheses 4 plus 7 end parentheses. And if we calculate left to right, we would end up with an 8 plus a 7, which would give us the incorrect answer of 15. If we calculate parentheses first, we'll have, again, our original problem is 2 times parentheses 4 plus 7 end parentheses. So if we calculate parentheses first, we'll have 2 times 11, which if we calculate gives us 22, and that is the correct answer. Okay. Next we'll have our exponents, powers, roots, anything like that, and then we'll calculate those before we multiply, divide, and add and or subtract. Okay, so the example we have here is excuse me, 7 times 4 squared. If we just calculate that straight across, that would be 7 times 4, which gives us 28, and then we'd square that, which would give us a final answer of 784, and that is the wrong answer. Okay, so again, we'll see the original problem, 7 times 4 squared. If we calculate our exponent first, that is the 4 squared. We know that's 16. So then we can calculate 7 times 16, which gives us an answer of 112, and that's correct. Okay? Just remember, the wrong answer might be on your test or your exam. Next, we'll have our multiply or divide, and that will come before adding and subtracting. Okay, now we have 3 plus 4 times 7. Again, that's our original. Okay, now again we have our original problem. We have 3 plus 4 times 7. Now if we remember our order of operation, we can calculate. So then we'll have the 4 times 7 because we're going to want to multiply or divide first. So then that will give us 21. So then we'll have 3 plus 21 equals 24, and there we have our correct answer. Okay, I hope that makes it a little easier for you to remember. So now we are going to divide and multiply, just go left to right. So if you have 2 sets of those within one problem, you'll just go left to right. Okay, sounds easy enough. So let's take a look at an example. Okay, if we have 30 divided by 5 times 3. Okay, now this first example I've provided shows where we'll take that 5 times 3, which gives us 15. So then the problem would read 30 divided by 15 equals 2, and that is a wrong answer. Okay, because we just took that multiply first in that problem. So if we just go left to right, then we'll see 30 divided by 5 times 3, which begin to calculate that, we'll see the 30 divided by 5, which gives us 6 times 3 equals 18, and that answer is correct. Okay, so just remember, when you have multiply and divide and multiply, they're all in the same problem, just go left to right. It's as easy as that. Okay, and if you're still confused, I have a little shortcut for you to try and remember. Okay, because That was a lot of information we just covered, and there's really no rhyme or reason. I like to have rhyme and reason, I guess if you call it, just a little catchphrase. So how about I give you this? If we try and remember PEMDAS, well, PEMDAS, what is that, Charlene? What does that? That still doesn't help me. Okay, so if we try and remember parentheses, exponents, which are, again, our powers and square roots, etc. Then we have multiplication and or division. We can go left to right. And AS, which is addition and subtraction. Again, we go left to right. That still doesn't help me. Again, that just explains what PEMDAS represents. But now if we make this a little easier for you, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Well, there we go. Everyone likes a little jingle to remember things by, right? That's how I still remember the colors of the rainbow. So, okay, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. This might make it a little easier for you to remember. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay? Now, do you see what I've done there? It's P equals please and parentheses. E for excuse represents the exponents. MD, as in my dear, represents multiply and divide. AS, Aunt Sally, add and subtract. Okay, so here we see PEMDAS. Please feel free to pause this if you'd like to write it down. Okay, PEMDAS, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses, exponents, multiply and divide, add and subtract. So there, I hope you have an easy way to remember your order of operations. And again, remember on your tests, your quizzes, your exams, the incorrect answer might be there. So just remember that, okay? So now we're going to see that original. And here on the final slide, we have 8 plus parentheses 2 times 3 squared plus 9 end parentheses. And maybe I feel I should explain why I flipped between blue and white and black. The program that I was using to compile this little video doesn't allow me to write the 2, as you see the 3 squared. I apologize, the 3 squared. So I had to do it in just like a WordPad, something like that type program, so that I could make that little itty bitty 2 and place it exactly where I wanted it. Okay, so now here I've just written PEMDAS. Okay, remember, the wrong calculation will result in the wrong answer on most occasions. And see down below here, we again have the original problem. And then if we begin to solve that problem, we'll see the 8 plus parentheses 2 plus 9 plus 9 end parentheses. Now if we begin to calculate, then we'll see the problem read as 8 plus parentheses 11 plus 9 end parentheses. And again, we're still calculating in parentheses, so our problem will read 8 plus parentheses 20. And again, if we reduce that even more, just taking away those parentheses, we'll have 8 plus 20 equals 28, and that is the correct answer. So there we have the original problem, and we've just worked it out here, remembering our PEMDAS. Okay, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So I hope that helps you remember your order of operations, and I hope you've enjoyed, and have a good day. Bye.